In the Star Wars prequels, we got a lot of moments with Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker, or at least what felt like a lot of moments, because Mace just really wasn't the nicest dude, especially to Anakin, ever since he came to the Jedi Temple as a little boy. And that carried all the way into the Clone Wars, into his young teenhood and adulthood, and of course, into his betrayal of the Jedi, leading into Order 66. Now, while Mace Windu may have a lot of reasons that could point in the direction of Anakin betraying them and really being too old to be trained as a Jedi, there was one actual time where Mace Windu was very supportive of Anakin, and even in front of Obi-Wan, who was really having a tough time with Anakin and doubting his ability to even train the boy, Mace Windu reinforced his sureness that Anakin was very gifted and is the chosen one. Now, this comes from a deleted scene in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and we can see it right here from the Star Wars Archives book. Photo from scene 51 as Obi-Wan sets off for Kamino. He expresses concern about his Padawan, but Mace notes Anakin's exceptional abilities and indicates that if the prophecy is true, he may have been the one to bring balance to the Force. This scene was deleted from the film, but some of the sentiments about Anakin were resurrected in the new scene where Obi-Wan, Mace, and Yoda discuss Obi-Wan's concerns at the Jedi Temple. Significantly, the one line that did not transfer to the replacement scene is when Obi-Wan says that Anakin will not be able to protect the Senator because he has an emotional connection with her. It's been there since he was a boy. Now he's confused, distracted. He means, of course, that Anakin is in love. The final cut does not depict Obi-Wan leaving Coruscant, but cuts to his starfighter in space arriving at Kamino. Now, there is a somewhat deleted scene actually that you can find on YouTube, and it comes from the bonus discs from Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan and Mace Windu are actually speaking as Obi-Wan heads off into his ship. It's a pretty cool piece of dialogue. However, as for Mace Windu supporting Anakin for like the only time and not being so arrogant towards him can be found here, which was deleted from the film. Now, I think, we don't need to get ahead of ourselves and think that Mace was really this horrible bad guy, but I do fully believe that Mace really thought he was maybe somewhat the chosen one himself, and I think this always caused him to doubt Anakin's abilities and really not trust the boy due to his overall anger and attachments and the fact that he was just too old to be trained, which Mace was always against Anakin being trained as a Jedi. And frankly, so is Yoda. The only reason they caved in was because Obi-Wan said that it's a promise he will fulfill from Qui-Gon before he died, meaning that if they deny him, then he will be expelled from the Jedi Order and he will just train Anakin on his own. And I don't think the Jedi Council wants that. I think they would rather keep an eye on him so that they can govern and control them both instead of just having them wander off and having Obi-Wan teach the Jedi ways when they have no idea what's going on. I kind of wish in the prequels that there was a little more dialogue and emphasis where Obi-Wan is really voicing his concerns about Anakin falling in love with Padme to the Jedi Council. And maybe they could have actually done something about it. They could have maybe stepped in, or they could have given Anakin the proper training that he needed to be able to control such things and emotions, or to at least know that, hey, if you're going to do this, this is really forbidden. We don't allow this at the Jedi Temple, but here are the certain ways that you can actually deal with this. And of course, when he got dreams of Padme dying, it was already far too late. She was already in love with him, and so was he. They were having a kid, and he had dreams of her dying in childbirth. And what does Yoda say when Anakin goes to him for advice? Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. And basically says for him to just not think about it and to let go of everything that he's come to love. And this is something that George Lucas always talked about, is that the Sith are always trying to keep everything they have for their own selfish reasons of possession and control, whereas the Jedi just kind of allow the Force to do what it needs to do. And if something or someone is to pass on, then that is the will of the Force. And while this is a very kumbaya and Zen way of thinking, I can understand Anakin's sentiment that none of us want our loved ones to pass away, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that they are safe and happy and healthy. I mean, it's not a very far-fetched or difficult thing to imagine. So anyways, this was Mace Windu's moments of kind of having Anakin's back for once, which was cool to see since he's always been really against him and just extremely difficult. Thanks for watching today's video and for listening on Star Wars Theory Podcast. 20 new episodes uploaded every single day. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.